Hello and welcome to a theme park worldwide news update. It's official, Chessington World of Adventures resorts have announced this morning that their new themed area for 2023 will be based all around Jumanji. Now this hasn't come as a surprise because if we go way back to the start of this project, even when the plans were first announced, there was a lot of rumours and speculation that this new themed area would be based all around Jumanji. Now in this video I'm going to be talking all about the details that Chessington have revealed this morning on the 16th of August 2022. We'll take a look at the details from the press release, along with as well a nice close-up look at this spectacular new concept art that has been revealed by the park as part of the press release. Along with that as well, I'm going to be sharing a construction update that I filmed just a few days ago in this video as well. So yeah, lots to talk about. Let's get straight into it. Now, as we can see from the signage just here at the entrance portal, it's set to be known as the World of Jumanji. Now, Chessington have said they're going to be revealing more information about the rides and attractions within the area very soon. Obviously, we know from the plan application and also as well from the various different construction updates we've filmed for what was known as Project Amazon as the project name. We do know a lot of the rides, of course, that are going to be making their way into the area. A signature roller coaster from Bolliger and Mabillard, and also supporting flat rides as well that will make up the area. And there's expected to be 2 flat rides as part of the World of Jumanji. Now, some more of the details that Chessington have confirmed this morning is that the area will open its gates in spring 2023. So obviously from the plans and how construction's been going, we was definitely expecting an early 2023 opening, but that is now official. Things are on track to open in spring 2023, which is absolutely awesome. Now, along with that, this new theme land, of course, is part of a global agreement between Columbia Pictures, Sony, and also Merlin Entertainment. Now, this is actually set to be the world's first and only World of Jumanji, as in a full themed area based on this franchise. Now, if we go back to earlier this year, Gardaland in Italy opened Jumanji the Adventure, a new dark ride. However, that isn't actually a full Jumanji themed area like this is going to be. Now, it's very exciting times for Chessington World of Adventures. It's a brand new themed area. It looks like it's going to be very heavily themed from the plans and also from what we've seen with the construction. And that leads me on to talk about this wonderful new concept art that we've seen from Chessington. So if we start off just here with this beautiful piece, we can see the World of Jumanji sign up there on the top on like a wooden framework, which looks very nicely detailed. And of course, the first thing that really stands out in this image is the fact that lined up perfectly there with the entrance is the 55-foot tall Jaguar Shrine, which is currently under construction at the park. And I will show you that in a little bit more detail in just a second, because since the last update that I filmed at the park, it really has progressed massively. Now, of course, you can also see how the roller coaster track interacts with that there as well. Now, we do know the manufacturer is confirmed to be B&M. This is going to be a shuttle type coaster, which is something completely different to anything that B&M have built before. And yeah, as you can see, you got the helix that spirals around the Jaguar Shrine. So it'll come through that firstly forwards up to the top before making its way backwards down through the spiral, and then, of course, throughout the rest of the layout backwards. Now, as you can see, also at the back just there, there's another piece of track that is this big spike, effectively. And yeah, that's just off to the left of the Jaguar Shrine. However, that spike isn't actually part of that part of the layout. That's the other side of the station. The station, if we're going off this image, will be round to the left-hand side, kind of where all them trees are. But yeah, in terms of the layout, I'll talk more about that that in just a second. I just wanted to kind of reference how we can see that from the entrance here, which is going to look pretty spectacular, I must say. Now, along with that, the other thing that really shines through in this, in my opinion, is all of the landscaping. Now, at the moment, this is just it was just a field. Obviously, now it's a very active construction site. But yeah, what really stands out here is all the planting. You've got palm trees, you've got bushes. This area looks so overgrown, and that's exactly how it needs to be to fit in with Jumanji, of course, with it being that theme. And even the entrance portal has got a lot of details on there, and yeah, a lot of branches and things growing over it, which is pretty awesome. Now, something else that I've also noticed from this image here is if we look at the floor. Now, maybe I'm looking too much into this, but you can see the green there on the floor, which for me is actually giving me kind of like Avatar Land vibes, Pandora from Animal Kingdom at Walt Disney World. Is there maybe going to be kind of UV paint or something like that on the floor, so at night the area kind of glows, or in the daytime is there just going to be kind of an essence of green throughout on the pathways? That looks interesting. I don't think they would have included that in the concept art if it didn't mean something. So yeah, I think there's probably something going on just there. And also, if I zoom in quite a bit now, just off to the right of where we can see the coaster, you can see what looks to be some sort of building there as well, or is that possibly one of the flat rides? It's hard to tell. Obviously, this is just a concept image, but yeah, it's very interesting when we zoom in on that there as well. But yeah, a very impressive piece of concept art there nonetheless, and really exciting to see. Then, of course, we look at this, the main event itself with the 50-foot tall Jaguar Shrine. And yeah, I've got to say, this looks incredible here. This is a massive theming structure. We've really started to see Merlin do this with a lot of their projects. Look at the Smiler at Alton Towers with the Marmalizer. Wickerman that's also at Alton Towers. They like doing now these big theme structures as the signature kind of highlight of the ride, and that's going to be the same here with the still unnamed roller coaster as part of the World of Jumanji. But yeah, look at that 55-foot tall Jaguar Shrine, and that is going to look spectacular. It really is. Now, in this image, of course, the coaster will firstly come in from the track on the right. You can just see it by that large palm tree before taking a left and making its way up the upwards helix before, of course, returning backwards down there as well. Now, it's going to be interesting to see kind of how this goes with this piece of track, because obviously we've not seen anything like this from B&M before. It's not a complete layout. It's a shuttle style ride. So yeah, it's going to be interesting to see, is it going to come to a stop at the top before making its way backwards, or is it just kind of gradually going to stop and then make its way round, or is there going to be some sort of show section? Because I remember looking at the plans for this initially and reading into the noise report, and it did state there was going to be some sort of machinery element at the top there. So you know, anything's possible, but we could possibly see the track, you know, the train come to a stop on the track before making its way backwards, or kind of being propelled a little bit backwards there as well. We don't know. However, what we do now know is the potential track colour for this. It looks like a dark green, which will be beautiful. Dark green B&M track with brown supports, it looks like there as well, to fit with the jungle theme of this. And again, we can see there not just that epic theming, but also lots of landscaping around as well. All the trees. We know for a fact that a lot of trees are actually being brought in from off-site. They're already being grown at the moment. They're being brought in, so they're well established. This area shouldn't look barren when it opens. I've been assured that it's going to look very overgrown, very like it's been a forest for a long time and not just kind of erected for 2023, you know. So this is really exciting stuff. What a ride this is going to be. I still worry about the throughputs of this. It will only be able to run one train. It's not got any type of turntable or anything like that. This will run one train, which is concerning. However, as long as they can get them out quick enough, I hope they can get a decent enough throughput. Hopefully 650 an hour, 700 an hour still they could get with this. However, I still feel like Chessington could have done with either a turntable on this or a complete circuit coaster. However, This is going to be very impressive to look at, especially with that large structure. You've got to think with like the Wickerman structure at Alton Towers, it's impressive. The coaster goes through it. With this, the coaster spirals round and towers over it as well. So it is looking awesome. I cannot wait to follow this project even more. And I was at the park a few days ago. You may have seen my Chessington vlog yesterday. This timed out beautifully with the announcements today actually as well. And happy roller coaster day, by the way. The day they've decided to announce this. A really good day for it, actually. The 16th of August, 2022. And yeah, I was there and filmed an update just a few days ago with lots of the construction taking place. So yeah, let's move on to that update now. We'll start off by taking a look at the station building. And yeah, as you can see, the steel framework's now complete and things are progressing really quickly with this part of the construction site. Now, along with that, just wanted to mention how originally the station was going to be open, as in not have a roof, as we could see from the plans. But yeah, that's definitely changed along the way, because we can see now it's going to be an enclosed station with the roof. Does that mean it'll be fully enclosed at the sides or not? We don't know, of course, until we see some of the details on there. But yeah, no matter what, it's going to have some form of roof on there from looking at the structure. Also, if we zoom through the station there, you can see part of the work taking place on the huge Jaguar shrine. And yeah, right down there at the bottom, that's progressed the most, as we can see, because you've already got the different layers kind of building up there. It started off with the steel framework, then adding in kind of like a mesh on top of it. Then down there now, the resin that's going on top just there as well for it. But we'll move on to the shrine again in just a second. You can see from here just how large the station building is actually, especially with how tall it's going to be too. Now, if we move on to this next image, you get a view of the station off to the left, the Jaguar shrine at the back, and also kind of where one of the flat rides is going to be located. Here's another view then, zooming in at the station, but also just wanted to point out the green building behind it there. I'm zooming in on it now for you. That is actually the maintenance bay for this ride. Now, what's interesting is that actually the train will have to be taken off the track to go into the maintenance shed. There isn't a piece of track or a transfer that runs into there. It would actually need to be removed to fit into there, which is actually quite interesting. And from here, we get a view looking at the Jaguar shrine, and again right at the top there in its early stages, but you can still make out the shaping of it, especially now the park today have revealed that concept art. You can get a real good look at how that's going to look with the shaping just there. You can see like the ears, you can kind of see where that jewel's going to be on there as well, and yeah, like the mouth area, his teeth, and then down here as well, how that's progressing massively with all of the kind of resin that they've added on there. It's fascinating to watch things like this go up, isn't it? But yeah, we now know, of course, that's 55 foot as well, and the coaster towers above that. You can just see a couple of coaster footers down there in the bottom. Still no word on when track and supports are going to arrive. However, I'd heavily expect that to be within the next few weeks. I think that is imminent, to be honest, especially with how construction is now on the site. It really doesn't look far away now from track and supports, of course, from B&M arriving on site. Let's just take another look then at the Jaguar shrine from a different angle. And that's just off to the left-hand side, where you can see the shape there, kind of curved over, with his back just there. And also another look here at the station, just showing how, yeah, you can see the structure of it, and also a lot of breeze blocks and work actually taking place on the foundations there, for probably the ride platforms, air gates, all that kind of stuff. Now, this has really progressed over the past few weeks, because as you can see, foundations have now gone into place for one of the flat rides just here. Now, as you can see when I zoom in, it's a round base that's gone in. It's not huge, however, this is probably for some sort of spinning flat ride, with the fact that it's round in its shape just there. Yeah, early stages with that, but again, it gives you a good idea where one of the flat rides is going to be located within this new themed area, and that's just off to the top right of the site just there as well. Something else you can see is how they've actually started to put in the ride area fencing. That's the green fence just there, of course, to stop people getting into the ride area where the coaster's running round. You wouldn't normally see that that done until afterwards. So yeah, very interesting how that's been done at this early stage. That just goes to show really how fast things are moving on, and probably one of the reasons for doing that maybe is so they can plant things up against it and start getting that growing, just to make sure that it's going to look fine when it opens in spring 2023. But there we go. It's another look there at that ride area fencing. If I pan across for you there, you can see how, you know, it's going to kind of come in to the side just there. That coaster track is going to be right up against the fence. And I tell you what, this is really exciting for Chessington. Like I said, the only thing that I'm concerned about is the throughput of this. Again, I'm just pointing out there the flat ride that's going to be going into that spot. But yeah, I do worry a little bit about the throughput. That's my only concern. I think as a thematic area, it's going to be fantastic. I love the new concepts that the park have revealed as well. I think that's very exciting. And yeah, that huge Jaguar shrine that you can see there is going to look absolutely awesome when it's completed. And you've got to think the tower, the coaster is going to tower around the side of that. You know, that's already pretty tall, 55 foot. It's going to tower around that and be an epic ride for Chessington. But there we go. I'll be back at the park in a few weeks with another update. Thanks for joining me here on Theme Park Worldwide. And that leaves me with one final thing to say. Get out there and keep on riding. See you all in the next video.